Something truly strange is happening in the UK right now. Something in the skies, something truly prehistoric. Hi guys, how you all doing? Welcome to another episode of Mysterious. Now, you may have guessed by the prehistoric bit at the beginning, or by this cute little dude here that I tried to draw and hopefully isn't too crap, that we are indeed talking about pterodactyls or pterosaurs that are flying around and are seen over certain areas in the UK to this day. In Wales, in Glamorgan, around Penrhyn Castle, that has in the 20th century, sort of the early 20th century, there was talks and legends of what used to be a colony of winged serpents that would gather there in flocks. And I like this bit. They were said to, when they were quite angry, they would fly really low over people's heads. But it isn't just little tales like that from sort of early in the 20th century. We have tales going, well, like I said, up till now. They're constantly reoccurring. In October 1996, in the Lake District between Langdale and Caniston, there was a guy, and he's like, we'll go camping with my friends, you know, like you do, cool, having some bro time. And I don't know if his friends saw it as well, or if he just, you know, fancied some time out of the tent in nature, and he is looking at the full moon, and he sees this dark shape going across the moon, and it's big. It looks big to him, even at a distance, and it's going fast. And as it gets closer, he thinks that it's got like the shape of sort of the manta rays, like, you know, their shape with a short tail. And as it gets even closer, he said that it looked like it was undulating, you know, like when you have stories of UFOs and they undulate. Anyway, he said that, yeah, he thought it was undulating. And as it got closer and going sort of more across the surface of the full moon, so he had like backlit shot of this thing, he realized that the undulating was coming from these massive wings and the flapping of these wings. And he estimated that they were about 35 feet in length from tip to tip. Now that is one freaking big bird. That is massive. And then our story goes to Shropshire. Well, strangely enough, there are a few areas in Shropshire where apparently our pterosaurs like to hang out. In 2017 in Whitchurch, Shropshire, there's a lady, and she lives near a nature reserve, so, you know, she's used to different animals and different animal sounds and the different birds that they have that come there. So this one was totally, you know, she hadn't heard it before, she hadn't seen it, it was totally out of the blue. And she was doing some work, like you do, and she heard this strange, loud, shrieking sound. So like I said before, unlike anything she'd heard before around the nature reserve. And this led to this whole incident being known as the Shrieking Serpents of Shropshire. Now, she ran out into the garden and she saw in the tree line what she thought looked like two pterodactyls sitting side by side on the top of the trees. Now, she said that they sort of grey and leathery and large, and they had her frozen in fear. She was literally frozen to the spot. She couldn't move. She was just, yeah, literally shitting herself. And I've seen, 35 feet from tip to tip in his estimate. That is huge. And I've seen life-size model when I went to dinosaurs in the park of what they'll be, and I'll put a picture about here for you to see. And that's freaking massive. So I could see why this woman would have been absolutely, shitting herself and scared stiff, like frozen, because that would freak you right out. But anyway, she said there were large, grey, leathery winged birds, and they were unlike anything she had seen before around the nature reserve. She didn't tell anyone else apart from her husband, who was a very sceptical Scully, shall we say. A few days passed, and getting on with life, sort of forgetting about it. And her sons are playing in the garden, and her 13-year-old, he's out there playing, and he hears a strange shrieking sound that he's never heard before. And bearing in mind, the lady said that she never told anyone apart from her husband, who was sceptical, so I don't know if he would have gone around telling people what she saw, as he didn't believe her. So he hears a squeaking sound as well, and he then sees a large, leathery looking bird. And obviously he's freaked out too, and he tells his mum, and he can't explain exactly what he saw. He was trying to say it was large. It had like sort of bats, sort of leathery wings, but it wasn't, and it had a weird sound. And thinking back to what she'd seen herself, she decided to bring up a picture of a pterodactyl and show him. And he said, "Mum, that is just what I've seen outside." And then, the same year, 2017, but in another part of Shropshire, it was in Tailfield in Shropshire, we have a man, and he's out and about doing his thing when he said that he saw a large leathery creature with a wingspan of, he thinks, 4 to 6 feet in wingspan. It's like, again, freaking huge. And it glided past him while he was walking. So, different areas, but the same thing. Big, massive birds, wingspans huge, leathery, grey looking, and sort of nothing that anyone's sort of really seen before. But both of those reported sightings are incredible in the fact that the sightings are very similar. They are really, you could be describing the same incident and the same creature, and you can't say it was the same place, that someone had caught wind of it or the kid had spoke about it, because it was different areas of Shropshire. Like I said, I don't think the lady reported it to anyone until later on, when she put it into one of like the mysterious sites. If the kid had said about it, I don't think anyone's going to believe him. But I suppose he could have said, and word got out in a gossipy kind of way. But 2 areas, 2 sightings, same year. So what in the heck is going on? Is it that it is just a large bird and people are like, they're not seeing it clearly because it's nighttime? The glare of the light from the moon is making it look stranger than what it is. Is it like how it was sitting in the trees made it look different? Is it because they were on a walk? We don't know what he was doing on a walk. Had he been drinking? Had he taken drugs? Is it a bird that maybe has never emigrated here before, but climate change made it come to this area? Is it is it maybe perhaps that it's a new species of bird that we haven't found yet, or hasn't totally been looked into, or something along those lines? Or is it that we are seeing, maybe it's ghosts? We see ghosts of people. There's always stories of ghosts and animals, dogs and cats and horses. Maybe we're seeing ghosts of our prehistoric creatures. Maybe they like to cling on to their life more than, say, T-Rex did. And so you see them hanging around their old haunts, if you excuse the pun. Or perhaps it's as some people think ghosts are. It's echoes of things that were. And those are hotspots for echoes of memories of these magnificent creatures. Or perhaps we have our own La Brea going on, and there is a weird space time rip, and they're coming through, and it's only in those areas. And, you know, they're going through and back home again, living their best life, having the best of both worlds. And that's why no one else in other areas have seen it, and why no one has ever caught them on camera that I know of. Or, and it's terrible to say, but we know what human beings are like. If something like that was being sighted, I'm surprised no one has tried going into these areas and looking for them and setting traps and trying to kill them or capture them, because people are shit. And I would have thought that more people would have caught them on camera. But hey, mysterious. So there we go. Somewhere around the UK, mainly Shropshire, we have sightings of pterosaurs. What do you think it can be? Do you think they will start raving mad? Do you think there's more to it? I hope you liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, ding-a-ling, all that jazz, so you can catch me. And we'll talk about more weird, wonderful, unsolved, strange, mysterious things that are happening or have happened. Hopefully you have a lovely day. You have some time to yourself. Read a book, go for a walk, have a coffee break, chillax, breathe. Whatever you're doing, have fun. Be safe. Be good. If you can't be good, be careful. And as always, my lovelies, I'll see you on the flip side. Goodbye.